Good morning, everybody. This is Robin Garland, and today's book we're going to talk about is A Feast of Crows. Now, the author is George R. Martin. It was published in 2005 by Bantam Books, a division of Random House. Total pages 753, illustrated by Jeffrey Ward. A Feast of Crows is the fourth installment of the Mr. Martin's list of published novels within the A Song of Fire and Ice series. Now, it continues the vast array of political intrigue, betrayal, and all that, but because that's what readers enjoy, and Mr. Martin is very good at writing it. Now, in the acknowledgement page, Mr. Martin wrote, "This one was a bitch." It was a tough one for him to get through to make all the worlds come together, because it's the aftermath. The theme of this book centers on the aftermath of the war-torn battlefield of Westeros and the rebuilding of what was destroyed by war. Dragons and darker things, said Lazy Leo, the son of Moran, and the minor villain in the book says, "The gray sheep has closed their eyes, but the mastiff sees the truth. Old power weakens, shadows stir, and the age of wonder and terror will soon be upon us, an age of God's heroes." That's one of the first passages within the first 50 pages of the book, and I found that to be really intriguing and foreboding, with Mr. Martin's writing. And Feast of Crows centers on those left in the Westeros after the wars, like Cesar Lancaster, Jaime Lancaster, Benay of Tarth, Sansa Stark, under the alias of, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Alisa Stone, Steamworth Tarley, and the newly induced characters in the Dove and Iron Islands. Now, the playfulness of the young boys, when in the introduction of the first 50 pages, they're lusting after a character called Rosie, and it's so well written and humorous. And I know that the readers will enjoy the descriptions of each of the castles and the eerie feeling of the society on the brink of collapse. Readers will also concentrate on Cersei Lannister's chapters, who led her. She led her son, the King of Tommen. Cersei, her paranoia and arrogance unravels her piece by piece. Cersei's rule is fascinating, a tale of self-destruction. And I know that the readers will love that if you love any of Mr. Martin's books. Now, Cersei sees conspiracies, everywhere, so she alienates her allies and places blind faith in the untrustworthy figures such as the High Sparrow. Jaime Lancaster's storyline is a total contrast to his sister Cersei's. Jaime continues his journey towards redemption, especially trying to redeem his family's corruptive ways, and his efforts to act honorable in a dishonorable world. And his relationship with Cersei deteriorates within the book. Benay of Tarth, those chapters find Cersei Stark searching for meaning through loss and disillusionment of a moral decaying civilization. In the valley, Cersei goes under pastoral Baelish manipulation and is disguised as Elise Stone. Sansa learns that the dangerous acts of political deception from ones of westward were cunning minds. They didn't want to let go of their control, and especially with a naive girl of the King's Landing, she becomes the survivor. Even after all of the political deception that she experiences, she does survive. A Feast of Crows here Mr. Martins expands his horizons to include the Iron Islands, a seafaring Greyjoys, and the brutal King's Moot to determine who will lead them. So also, the Dorne centers around Ariane Martell and her plot to crown Princess Marcella and rule by cunning and passion. So check out those chapters about Dorne. They're quite intense, but it's just the way Mr. Martin used his world building. He just, the right words, to describe people's character is just fantastic. And it kind of, you could kind of latch on to all of the series and all of the books by just his writing. A Feast of Crows examines complex characters, political drama, and the emptiness of victory. Is the slow unraveling of a world battered by blood, greed, and the thirst to conquer at any cost. Now, does war really end, is my question in all of his books. If you enjoyed the book as I did, A Feast of Crows, even without several tragic, bloody battles, it centers on each of the characters' role. And now that Westeros won the war, but it's the aftermath, and where do they go from here? So, how does each character see their future in their homeland? So be sure to check out the book. It's in the back of the book, because there's a lineage and a family tree too for you to. If you get lost with all the characters as I did, and I had to reread several parts just to make sure I was following each character's, their arc and their movement within the book. So there's that lineage in the back of the book to help you. And there's also black and white maps of the North and South, illustrations with keys and legends showing locations of cities, castles, towns, and the ruined castles, within the leaves and the paste down pages, which is the part of the heart of the hardback, the covering. So check those out. It's really phenomenal. The years that Mr. Martin had to do background and research and get the plots right and the characters doing this and that. It's just amazing to me as a writer myself, the dedication that you go into writing a novel. It's just so dear to the writer's heart, I'm sure. So, the appendix also shows a list of kings, courts, the rebels and the rogues, the small fork, and the sworn into the next time. It's just a fantastic book to add to your collection of Mr. Martin's books. So until next time, keep reading, and if you like the videos, please subscribe and like. There's more to come. I've got a whole list of books from various authors that I've got stacked up here by request, and I keep on doing them. I just love doing these reviews, and hopefully you do too. So until next time, keep reading.